And we are now recording. So, Philip, take it away.
Thank you, Allison, and welcome everybody to today's virtual health hut brought to you by Student Health Services. Today, we're going to be going over some positive practices, some tips on intuitive and mindful living. So, my name is Philip once again, and I work at the Student Health Services as a peer health educator. I've included the address for the Student Health Services as well as a map to locate it where it is on campus, which is right next to the nursing building. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, or would like to make an appointment, you can be reached out at this phone number right here or at the email on the screen. So just go ahead and take a second and take a screenshot if you want to. Our next virtual health hut is tomorrow, December 8th at 11 a.m. So stay tuned for that one. So before we begin, I want to um, hopefully have you folks take a survey real quick. It's going to take a few seconds. I just dropped it in the chat box right here. And when you're done, just let me know with a thumbs up or just drop a done in the chat box. Awesome. See one done. Awesome. Another one. Great. I think that's everybody. So I'm going to move on now. So, what are you going to take from this presentation? Hopefully, I hope all of you will be able to plan your own mindful rest breaks of varying times by listening to your intuition. Also, assess appetite anytime and accurately read your hunger signs. And also to analyze activities and exercises that may be interesting to you to improve your self wellness. So, first, I'm going to talk about mindfulness and intuitive living as a whole. So, mindfulness and intuitive living are terms that are commonly mixed up when they are talked about because they work together and are similar in concept, but they are not able to be switched around like synonyms. First, I'll be talking about mindfulness, where it is just being in a state of awareness and in the moment, using all five senses if you can to appreciate the moment that you are in. Mindfulness is a way to turn focus away from the school and work you've been working on just for a little bit and to give the mind a real break to relax, regather thoughts, and maybe even feel motivated to going back to work. On the other hand, the all encompassing intuitive living is communicating with oneself to create lifestyle habits that balance our mind, body, and spirit. Mindfulness and intuitive living work hand in hand, where mindfulness develops the intuition by strengthening the inner voice, promoting self love and trust. Mindfulness and intuitive living are different, but they support each other, and I hope y'all are able to take that away from this slide. But first of all, let's go into mindful rest. And for this exercise, I just want to do a quick meditation exercise with all of you. It's just going to be about 30 seconds, 2 rounds around the box. And this is called the box breathing meditation. So once it heads around again, we're going to start at the bottom left corner at inhale, and then we're going to hold for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold for 4 seconds. And we'll start right about now. Awesome. So hopefully that was like a little nice sampler of what some meditation exercises are out there. And just drop in the chat box real quick. How did this exercise make you feel? For me, I felt more relaxed and ready for this presentation. Awesome. Very relaxed. I like that. Cool. So we're gonna move on to calm. Yes, nice. I like that too. So right now we're gonna move on to what is mindful rest. And mindful rest is when we can listen to our inner self and recognize what our body and mind needs to rest. And that's when the mind can start to reflect quietly, when it starts to focus on processing how you are interacting with the physical environment that you're in. So, for example, in that meditation exercise, you're focusing on your breathing, on your lungs, and other mindful rest meditations. You can focus on how cold are you, how hot are you, how are you feeling, are you aching somewhere, stuff that your body is reaching out to you for. And mindful rest is important for us college students, especially right now, because it helps prevent burnout from studying and grinding on endless assignments, especially during finals. It helps improve sleep. For example, a body scan meditation right before a nice sleep can help improve the quality of your sleep. And it can also relieve anxiety and stress. And real quick, I wanted to talk about switching the way we normally think of rest. And I'll go over mindful rest again here, real quick. And it's to take attention away from the work or stressors, that is, eating at our physical and mental health. And it provides meaningful rest to our mind, body, and spirit. And the state of moment awareness without a goal in mind is just the sort of way mindful rest is. And comparing that to our usual rest, like sometimes I do as well, we just think about resting by stopping work, going on our phone, laptop, stuff like that, or going to sleep, napping. But this can backfire since we are not letting our mind rest. We're just shifting the focus to something else. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes for me, um, I feel guilty sometimes of doing that kind of rest because I'm not mindfully being aware that I'm about to take a rest. So I'm still thinking about all the stressors while I'm still like, going through Instagram and watching YouTube and stuff like that. And it doesn't, when I go back to work, I don't feel like as rested because I'm still thinking about that work. So that's what mindful rest is. It's just to make sure that you are resting appropriately and efficiently. Real quick in the chat box, I just want y'all to drop in. How do y'all rest? Like, what do y'all do? And while you do that, just keep in mind of how you do that next time and how you can spend more time on what is working in that rest rather than what isn't. Silly rom coms, anything to get you laugh. Yes, I love that too. Putting on a video and draw because listening to the video and drawing takes my total concentration away from stuff. Yes, I get that. I love doing that too. Doodling and stuff that gets me like calm and rested, and kind of transitions us to some mindful rest ideas. So some mindful rest ideas might be short 1 minute meditation breaks to a few hours per day, depending on your situation. Some mindful rests include, meditation, listening to relaxing music like lo-fi. I love lo-fi. Drawing, doodling, and reading. Some reading calming books out there for that help meditation is a really good resource for just trying to start mindful rest. CSULB also has its own mindful rest events. Some of those events are Mindful Meditation Mondays and Thoughtful Thursdays, and those can be found on Beach Sync. I'm think they're still having one during finals week. So if you guys want to check, if y'all want to check that out, go ahead, and it's going to be a good way to mindful rest with other fellow colleagues dressing out for finals. So now we're going to move on to mindful and intuitive eating. And I want to bring up the hunger scale real quick because this is going to pop up multiple times in this section. And it's a part of mindful and intuitive eating. And it's basically just a point of where you can read your hunger cues. So one, feeling starving, feeling dizzy, weak, like about to pass out. And then 10 is so full you feel sick, you're about to throw up. And then 5 or 6 is satisfied and slightly full, somewhere in the middle. And real quick, one thing to think about before you eat, are you actually hungry, or are there other factors influencing when and how much you eat, and being able to analyze a social event or situation that you're in? Sometimes I am full, but I'm invited to go out to eat with friends. Sometimes, I'm like at around a 6 already, but I'm still at a restaurant. So what I like to do is, instead of fully eat with everyone, I like to just like order an appetizer or dessert and eat slowly, eat mindfully as everyone else goes ahead and eats as well. And then usually you finish around the same time they do, so it works out. I just want to discuss real quick, where would you rate yourself on the hunger scale? If you are feeling like a 3 or 4 as well, or even like a 5 or 6, just drop something that you want to snack on or eat right now. um, right now I'm craving some Japanese food and I'm around like a 4 right now, so just let me know in the chat. Around a 5, yeah, that's perfect. That's kind of where you want to be on the hunger scale. 6, nice, I like that too. 5 and 6 is usually the sweet spot. Around a 4, want some fries. Yeah, I get it. I like, oh, now I'm craving fries too. Alrighty, so I'm gonna move on now to just defining what mindful intuitive eating is and how they work hand in hand. So in this slide, it's not a comparison of the two, but more of how they relate very closely to each other. And so mindful eating, it focuses on the flavor and the presence of the food. There's no limit to food intake, so it avoids those negative emotions of that, oh, I shouldn't be eating this much, it's gonna make me feel worse. But eating slowly, it makes it easier to savor the flavor, and it makes it easier to read hunger signs, which is especially important for mindful eating. Intuitive eating is more of an all-encompassing thing where it breaks the tradition on diets, so there is no rule for eating. And all foods fit regardless of nutritional value. And it's just about reading the hunger cues and using the hunger scale to measure where you are anywhere in the time of day. And then moving on to benefits. So, some benefits that are found in a study by Nelson, there's some promotion in better digestion. It helps people feel more satisfied without eating as much, potentially. It has an increased awareness for foods people eat and how they feel afterwards. And physically, it does. So it's been shown to lower cortisol levels, HDL cholesterol levels, blood pressure, and heart rate. So some eating habits to start mindfully and intuitively is, first of all, appreciate and pay attention to your food. Avoid going on your phone or avoid going to the living room to watch TV while you eat. Just really focus on the food and be able to use all your senses to analyze and appreciate the food. Some examples is like, how does the food smell? How does it like weigh on your utensil? Like, what does the texture feel like in your mouth, and what tastes or flavors can you find in just one bite. You'll be surprised about how deep the analyzation goes with for that. Chewing and swallowing thoroughly is also a really good habit to be aware of. And make sure, especially, not to eat when you're starving. Just eat when you begin to feel hungry. Eating when you are overly hungry may cause you to overeat. This has happened to me a few times. I go to the table, eat. I'm super hungry. I'm starving. I'm like a two, and I just like devour everything that's on the table. And then when I'm done eating, I feel so full and like so sick. And that's what mindful intuitive eating helps us avoid. Here's some other stuff that I think will also be great for these eating habits. Consider the source of where it's coming from. Is it organic? Is it GMO free, gluten free, stuff like that? Enjoying the experience, questioning what you eat, avoiding distractions, sitting at a table, loving what you eat, drinking water, and not rushing. And some and this principle right here, Harahachibu, is a Confucian principle popularized by one of the oldest adult populations in the world in Okinawa, Japan, and it somewhat sets the goal for mindful eating. This principle means that one should keep eating until they're satisfied but not full. And this satisfaction makes it feel like if you were about 80% full after a meal. And give it a thought real quick. Where would Harahachibu be rated on the hunger scale? Just drop it in the chat box real quick. Awesome. So I'm getting sixes, which is correct. It is a six. Some people have mistaken it sometimes because since it's an 8 out of 10, oh, it should be 8 out of 10, but eight is actually feeling stuffed. So six is actually where Harahachibu lands on the hunger scale. Alrighty, now that we're done eating, we're gonna move along to intuitive exercise. And one more discussion, if you want to do it in the chat box again. If you participate in exercise, let us know what activities or workouts that you enjoy and where you like to do those activities. If not, just let us know what exercises you've been thinking of doing or what sounds fun to try that's been on your mind. Yoga and roller skating, yes. Lifting weights at home, oh yeah. Rock climbing sounds fun too. These are all excellent recommendations. For me, I like the exercise park image that I included there. um Sometimes, just having fun on the exercise park is just, the way to exercise. Walking my neighborhood, yeah, that's great too. I like taking in the views and talking to neighbors sometimes too. So we're going to move on now to what is intuitive exercise. So intuitive exercise moves away from the traditional approach of working out and focuses on the wellness of the body and mind. And a lot of people get the part where it focuses on the wellness of the body, but are unsure about the how the mind comes into play here, which we'll talk about later. It basically breaks the traditional mindset of no pain, no gain. And it's a deeper understanding of the body's need for exercise, and it can help develop workout plans that train both the body and mind without risking injuries as well. And intuitive exercise also promotes body movement, which helps release pent up energy and increases blood circulation. Some other benefits of intuitive exercise include increasing strength, it lowers anxiety and stress, it increases stamina, and improves focus and energy. And it also includes all of the regular benefits in exercise as well. So, what is the difference here between intuitive exercise and the usual way we think about exercise? An intuitive exercise, it keeps a positive outlook on exercising. So there's no forcing yourself or pushing to work out. Usually that is our mindset because most of us don't feel like exercise is a wellness activity. It's a chore. And it pays close attention to the body and environment, and it's like a way of fixing your form to avoid injuries, and it opens the mind to other environments and activities. So usually most people think of the traditional way of going to the gym is the mostly the only place to work out, and intuitive exercise opens up the world to the possibility of exercising anywhere. And then here for the social norm that we usually experience is that no pain, no gain. And that promotes a negative outlook on exercising. Like some people don't want to feel pain while they exercise, including myself. And the forcing oneself to exercise can lead to negative thoughts associated with exercise, like I mentioned earlier. And sometimes exercise will start to feel more like a chore than a wellness activity. And then how does one start to exercise intuitively? And it honestly all depends on the person. It focuses on what you want to do for exercise. And there's a lot of thoughts and processes that could potentially go into intuitive exercise. But a few points here is that before starting, know the purpose of what you are exercising for and keep it in mind the whole workout. So, a goal you can set for yourself that is a healthy goal. Like, for example, I want to work on my legs today. They feel energetic, so maybe I'll go on a run. Another one is visualizing workouts that seem appealing. What do I want to do today? And not what the schedule says, not what any routine says. It's just what do you, as the individual, and what your body is asking, what does it want to do today? And most importantly, is to accept yourself and that you're doing this to benefit your own well being, not for any other external factors, not for anyone else, and not for any other reason to do so. And some intuitive exercise ideas that I've personally participated myself with is one of them is arboreal locomotion, and it resembles climbing trees. Basically it is, but it's more mindful than it sounds. um, Arboreal locomotion's original definition was to define movement through the trees when animals do it. So, like when monkeys and snakes move along trees in the forest, they usually call that arboreal locomotion. But we can apply it sometimes to a mindful exercise because it requires a lot of mindful work as well. It requires a lot of balance and dexterity to move from branch to branch. It increases focus when you climb higher, while also nervousness. So it kind of ties hand in hand. And sometimes it includes forest bathing if you're somewhere deep in a forest, like a Japanese practice of being in a forest to improve mental health. And those Japanese studies have shown that being in a forest from time to time does increase mental health by being with the foliage, being one with nature, and just taking in the oxygen that they are releasing and just being in the moment as well with nature. Another intuitive exercise idea that I'd like to share is Tai Chi. And it's a lot safer, a lot gentler, and it's to fend off stress and anxiety. And it uses the flow of energy in the body to dictate motion. And it's stereotypically known that a lot of older adults like to do this exercise, and it's seen as somewhat a waste of time to young adults, but it improves balance and flexibility with slow and gentle motions, and it increases energy and stamina regardless of your age. And the best part about it is it's like a slow, relaxing kind of exercise, but to be able to focus on form and keep um keep that form for like 10-15 seconds, you'll probably start sweating around 15 to 30 minutes in. It's actually more um exercise worthy than it looks. And I just want to talk about like where you can do some of this stuff. Now, I put that exclamation mark there because it is a disclaimer that the Student Health Services is not promoting these specific ideas. It's just something I like to participate in every once in a while. So, any injuries or anything is not because of the Student Health Services. And but for now, for me, I like to go to Solstice Canyon Trail Park in Malibu and Ice House Canyon Trail in LA. And those two are hiking trails that are more like forest heavy. So they have a lot of forest while you're walking on the trail. It's a great place. I go there sometimes for yoga classes as well. But it's also a great place to be one with nature since there are a lot of trees there. You're gonna exercise a lot of mindful caution in this because there is no like you're just doing this on yourself. There's no like harnesses and safety nets to catch you. Unlike the rock climbing wall at the SRWC, if you want to start somewhere, start climbing. That is a great place to start. It's going to be open again next semester, and I highly suggest that everyone starts there before participating in arboreal locomotion. Tai Chi is another one. I'm about to drop two links here in the chat. The first one here is for the first bullet point, Shaolin Qigong, 15-minute daily routine. And the second one is, oh, the first link I dropped was accidentally the Tai Chi for beginners. And then the second one is Shaolin. And those are both beginner exercises in Tai Chi that anyone could start off with. And there are more longer and more arduous Tai Chi movements in the later lessons. So, warned, it gets really hard after a while. And on the left here is actually Solstice Canyon. That is one of the abandoned buildings on the trail. And that tree right there is I've been there before and I've tried climbing it. It's a bit hard, but getting up around halfway, you get to see some nice views of the trail you just hiked on. That middle view picture right here is our own rock climbing wall, and on the right is some individuals practicing Tai Chi. And that concludes my presentation. Some resources here is the Cal State Long Beach Student Health Services link. Body Positive at the Beach. Unfortunately, it is not happening this semester, but next semester they are open again. So I highly encourage to check it out. And there is a link to Beach Wellness. And I'm just going to drop one more link here in the chat. It's going to be our post survey link. If y'all can take a few seconds to take that survey again, I'd really appreciate it. Just let me know when you're done by just dropping a done in the chat or another thumbs up. Awesome. See one. Awesome. Another one. Alrighty, I think this should be a good time now for everyone to be done with it. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming to my presentation today. Hopefully, you've taken a lot from it. And I hope to see y'all tomorrow at our next virtual health hut. I've included the number and email again for student health services. And I hope you have a wonderful day.